So Christin Wiedemann, did I do it? I emailed.
Good enough.
You get an A.
I get an A. Okay, I emailed you last week to get the pronunciation correct.
You're following in the phonetics I sent you. So
I'm
not
doing
complaining.
well.
Don't make me pronounce your name though.
Oh no,
please.
don't even bother.
I wouldn't.
It's far too difficult. So you were an astroparticle physicist.
Experimental high-energy astroparticle physicist.
So what?
Right.
How do you get from that into software testing? How does that work?
It works extremely well. This is way more fun.
In what way?
Actually, it's kind of the same thing as I did in research. It's problem solving, it's investigation, it's detective work.
Okay.
It's creative. And I find that the skills that I hope I developed as a PhD student are working perfectly for me as a tester.
So how did you get linked up with software testing?
Well, I kind of started as a developer.
Oh.
But
Like,
I don't speak of those dark years very often.
like
But I'm glad you asked, because I actually got into software testing because of a role model, and I like talking about role models.
So who was your role model?
I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, but
That's
his
fine.
first name was Magnus, and he was the test lead where I was working, and he was also the sole tester. And he was just a really great guy, super professional, very thorough. He did a great job, and he was fun to work with, good sense of humor, and the clients liked him, the developers liked him. Everyone trusted him and really respected him and his work. And I respected him way more than I respected the other developers, to be quite honest. I kind of wanted to be like him, including myself. So one day he asked if maybe I wanted to try testing instead. And sure, why not? And I realized it was more fun.
It is.
It was more challenging, more stimulating than just developing.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, just to kind of get this straight, you were making particles like hit each other together and like, no, okay.
Since I'm an astroparticle physicist,
Uh-huh.
I make astronomy do the work for me.
Oh, okay.
So just supernova, dark matter, that kind of
Right,
stuff.
exploding stars and everything. Right, and now what are you doing? What are you working on?
Now I work slightly different systems at an insurance company.
Oh, wow.
That's
okay.
totally similar.
And what do you know? The problems are just the same.
Right,
People have to work together,
Stars
communicate.
right.
We don't get a lot of stars exploding, maybe other stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
not so many stars. There are dark holes, though, definitely, where stuff just disappears and never
Uh-huh.
comes back.
Right.
And some of those dark holes walk around on two legs.
Occasionally, yes. So
Right.
you're doing a talk tomorrow about
Indeed.
hard sciences, basically as I summarize, hard sciences versus software testing and the similarities. So as someone who's just strictly been a software tester, what can I take from the hard sciences? What can I learn that I can apply in my daily software testing?
Fancy multi-syllable words that no one will understand, but impresses people and are great for cocktail parties.
Sure.
I do think there are a lot of similarities, and what people seem to forget quite often is the objective of science and the objective of testing. Why are we doing this? So science is about learning stuff. It's not about spending the budget, which kind of happens by itself, but it's about people trying to learn more about the universe and how things work, how the human body works. And to me, the objective of testing is to learn about the product, about the software.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of at the core of all the similarities to me. And how do we get there?
Mm-hmm.
And the scientific method is a way to gather data, analyze it, and evaluate it. And that's what I do when I test.
Mm-hmm.
I test, I get data, I evaluate them, I look at the results, and hopefully I've learned something new. So that's kind of what I'm building my presentation on. And just trying to find things that I like about the scientific method that I think are useful for testers too.
Agreed. Yeah, a lot of times I tell testers to watch Mythbusters because it's a very fast way to learn the scientific method and be entertained at the same time. Now, clearly,
Using more and more explosives is not the scientific method.
What?
Please.
using C4 is not the scientific method.
That's how you solve everything.
I Actually, liquid nitrogen works really well for blowing stuff up. You just need a confined space. Anyway,
A confined space.
pet bottles.
Ooh, we've all learned something tonight.
Yeah, I think we know what we're doing tonight.
Kids, don't
think
try
so.
this at home.
Yeah, no children
We should
watching,
broadcast
please.
this live.
And do not hold me responsible.
Right,
Don't provide the details.
but we'll have insurance.
Yes, we're completely insured. That shouldn't be a
It's
problem.
also a great way to chop vegetables.
Chop vegetables.
Wait.
So you freeze them first?
And then you drop them on the floor, and what do you know?
Oh,
They're
that's
all
right.
chopped up.
Wow, a liquid nitrogen salad.
You'd never have to buy a
That'd
knife.
be great.
Makes great ice cream. Anyway, you were saying something, maybe?
So the last thing that I saw that you're going to be talking about tomorrow is peer review. And from your scientific background, how does a peer review work?
Well, almost everything in science gets peer reviewed. And most researchers have as their goal to have the results published. Because if they're not published, no one's going to know about it. So what's the point? And in order to get published in a journal, you have to go through a peer review. Always. And typically you don't know who your peer reviewers are, but you send in your abstract, your article, whatever it is, your proposal for a conference, just like CAST 2012. And people review it, give you comments, and they are going to be your peers, and they are going to be harsh. But not to be mean, but they'll definitely try to find the weak spots because they care about the subject. And I do think that the way the talks were selected for this conference is a perfect example of, stop giggling,
It's a very
Of peer
difficult
review.
conference to get into.
I'm trying to make testers feel better about themselves and feel that the profession has respect. You're not helping.
Yeah, Ben.
Sorry. I apologize.
It's a way to gain, peer review is a way to gain credibility and respect by your peers, and that's what scientists want. They do not care so much really about what other people think. They care about people that have the same competence as they have, what they think. And that's what I hope testers care about too. What other testers think about the work, maybe more than the developers. But peer review can of course be done by other team members too, or project members. But it's a great way to not trash each other or try to put each other down, but actually to try to help to improve the quality of work. And that's what it should be about when it's done correctly.
Agreed.
Shoot. All I was thinking was about trashing Ben.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
mostly my peer reviews of Ben are not about making him better, actually.
Not
How
usually.
could he be made better?
No.
Oh, good for you.
It's true.
Or get any worse? I don't know. Your pick.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Thank you for joining us tonight.